In this video we shall continue discussing relationships. The next two relationship types we have to understand are identifying and non-identifying relationship. With identifying relationship, a record in a child relation absolutely has to reference a record in a parent relation. With non-identifying relationship, a record in a child relation may exist without referencing a record in a parent relation. It may either reference that record in parent relation or do not reference anything. Let's start with identifying relationships. Imagine we have some learning courses and instances of those courses. Of course, an instance may not exist without referencing its parent, so we have to make this foreign key to have some real value, some x value, so it never may contain null value. How can we achieve this situation? We may add the foreign key into primary key, making it a part of primary key. So here we can see the primary key consisting of two fields, the first and the second. The second is our foreign key, but it's a part of primary key, and primary key can never contain any null value. This is how it looks with data. We have our learning courses like for Java, .NET, and so on, and we have instances of those courses. And here is the foreign key, but it is a part of primary key. So this field may never contain any null value. So if we have some instance, it always references some parent record in parent relation. With non-identifying relationships, we have the other situation. Imagine some rooms and some computers, and of course a computer may be placed inside a room or may be somehow free, not placed inside any room. So here is our foreign key, and we may easily see that it is not a part of primary key. So such foreign key may contain null values, and those null values will show us that some computer is not placed in any room but is like free computer. This is how it looks with data. Here are our rooms, computers. We see that these three computers are placed in that room, these two are placed in that room, and here is our free computer that is not placed to any room for now. As long as in identifying relationship the foreign key, let's emphasize it scientifically, has to be a part of the primary key of the child relation, we have some problem. Imagine we have several relationships, such a cascade of several relationships. Here we have primary key with one field. Here, as long as foreign key becomes a part of primary key, we have two fields in primary key. Here we have three fields, four fields, and so on and so forth up to infinity. This situation has its pros and cons. What's about pros? We can easily jump to any level of hierarchy without following intermediate levels. Because here, for instance, for some item and category and type of some products, with that item we may easily jump using this value right here. We have not to jump firstly here and secondly there. We may jump right here. We may skip any intermediate hierarchy levels. That's good. But the bad is that we have that huge primary key size, and that primary key increases with each level of that relationship. With non-identifying relationships, once again scientifically, the foreign key has not to be a part of the primary key of the child relation. So here is the situation. Here is our foreign key, and the primary key here, 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 and here consists of one field only, because here is the foreign key, and the primary key as a separate field. It also has some pros and cons. This is the same example with data, but here we have non-identifying relationship. Some product types, categories, and items. And imagine we have to detect what kind of product type a sofa is. We cannot jump right here because we have no type information here, it's absent here. We have only category ID, so we have to find out the category, jump here, then we have to find out the type and jump here and find out that it's a furniture. So it's the huge disadvantage, but the advantage is that the primary key in any relation may still consist only of one field. But can we have small primary keys in identifying relationships? Yes, we can. Technically, we may set not null property on a foreign key and get so-called semi-identifying relationship. Here how it looks. We have the same type, category, item. We have our foreign keys here. We have our primary keys of one field only here. That's good. That's extremely good. And look at this. We set not null property on any foreign key, so we cannot put this null value here. We cannot put that null value here. So any record from here has to be related with some record from here. Any record from here has to be related with some record from here. So that's a kind of identifying relationship. But as long as the foreign key is not a part of primary key, we call it semi-identifying. It's not really a technical term, but we have to name it somehow. And the only thing left to discuss is how to create a relationship. Let's start with an SQL query approach. Here are our relations. The payment, so it's the child table. The employee, so it's the parent table. And this is the query for creating the relationship. We are altering our child table, payment, adding a constraint with some name. That constraint is a foreign key with such a name, so here it is. And we say it's references, the parent table, here it is, and its ID field. Here it is. It's the primary key for the parent table. And we also have several cascade operations that we shall discuss in the next video. And that's the schema. Now we have to see how to create a relationship using some special tool, and we shall use well-known Sparx Enterprise Architect and MySQL Workbench. And as long as this process may take some time, we shall continue in the next video.